Hi children, how are you? I hope you all are fine and safe and taking prevention for this COVID-19. I am also doing the same thing as you are doing. Stay home, stay safe. So let's start today's math class, that is the chapter coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry, in my last video I already said you about the distance formula. Now you have to go through the section formula. So what do you mean by section formula? Section formula is the very important part of this coordinate geometry. This is a very important part of this coordinate geometry. You have to understand it very carefully. So let's start it with me and try to understand. So here you see I wrote here section formula. Section formula means something is going to be part. So let's go for an example. One telephone company is coming and he wants to put two poles in two places, that is A and B. In A and B he is going to put some poles, and in between A and B he wants to put another pole. He wants to put exactly in between A and B. What I am saying, exactly in between A and B he wants to put another pole at P. So when I will come to a Cartesian plane to represent this this statement, then how I can do? I am taking A point here, I am taking my B point here. Let my A point coordinate be A equal to x1, y1. Let my B point coordinate be x2 and y2. I want to put another pole, that is P, just in between A and B. That means exact in the middle of A and B. Exact in the middle of A and B. So this P point is the midpoint of A and B. So P point is the midpoint of A and B. So let the coordinate of the P point be x and y. Understood now? So when I will put like this, now this became two parts. That means two sections now come to here in existence. What is that? One is called AP and another is called BP. Here this AP is equal to BP. Why? P is my midpoint. P is my midpoint. This is my midpoint. P is my midpoint. P is my midpoint between A and B. For that reason, A to P is equal to B to P. So if I will take this part, let this part be M1. That means AP is M1 and BP is M2. Let's I am taking this one as M2. Then what I will write? I will write M1 is equal to M2. M1 is equal to M2. Or the ratio of the division. The ratio of the division is 1:1. Try to remember 1:1. I wrote here 1:1. So when it is the midpoint, it is dividing the thing into exactly two halves. That is AP is equal to BP. And the AP, let it be M1, BP, let it be M2. So M1 is equal to M2 here. So in this case, it is this point. Which point? B point is dividing the line in exactly two equal parts. So in the 1:1 ratio. 1:1 ratio. When this type of divisions will come in the line, definitely we are going to say them as the midpoint formula. What I will say? I will say midpoint formula. So what is the midpoint formula? The midpoint formula is one point is going to divide the line in exactly two halves. That is 1:1 ratio. So here M1 is equal to 1 and M2 is equal to 1 also. So that is related to which formula? That is related to midpoint formula. Because the point is exactly in between A and B. So it is a midpoint formula. So what is the coordinate of the midpoint? The coordinate of the midpoint is P. The P is equal to x and y. The coordinate x and y. How it will be determined? Determined by this formula. Try to remember this formula, important. This x1 plus x2 by 2, that means average. x1 plus x2 by 2 and y1 plus y2 by 2. Okay. Now this is the first part of the section formula. Section formula when the point is exactly in between A and B. That is the first case, that is called midpoint. So midpoint formula, the line is divided in 1:1 ratio and M1 is equal to M2. Then the formula for it is the midpoint formula. The midpoint, what is the midpoint? P. The P midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. So I hope this midpoint formula is understood by you. Now come to the point. Here I am doing another figure for you here. See what is happening in this figure. You see in this figure you see this P point. Where is the P point now? In the exact middle. But now you see the P point, it is towards A. It is slightly towards A. The P midpoint that was in midpoint, now midpoint come towards A. And it is dividing the line into two parts, that is AP and BP. So what is AP? AP is M1, let it be M1, let it be M1 and let it be M2. So it is again divided in M1 is to M2 ratio. So what is the ratio here? When the line is, the point is towards A, the M1 is less than M2. This AP is less than BP. AP is less than BP. So M1 is less than M2. So when it is, now you see, come to the, here you see AP less than BP, that is M1 less than M2, and now M1 is less than M2, it is in the 1:2 ratio. Now you see, come to this figure. What this figure is indicating, see, here the P point is towards the B. P point is towards the B. That means it is divided into two sections where the ratio is AP is greater than BP. A to P is greater than PP. Here written M2. So M1 is greater than M2. Here it was M1 less than M2. If M1 is less than M2, the ratio is 1:2 because M1 is less than M2. So it was a bisection. They all are called bisections. Bisections means into two parts, where in the first part it is equal 1:1, then it is 1:2, then it is two parts to one part. Then M1 is greater than M2 and M1 is greater than M2. On that case, it will be 2:1. So this is the total idea of the section formula. When a line is divided into two halves, that means bisection. In trisection, then it will be 1:3, 3:1, three parts. But it is a bisection, it is having two parts. Okay, in two parts, these three cases will happen. That is, sometimes M1 will be equal to M2, that is 1:1. Then sometime the M1 will be less than M2, that is 1:2. Then sometimes the M1 will be greater than M2, that is 2:1. So 1:1, 1:2, 2:1 is the section form. That means it can be divided into these three types of sections. I hope you understood it. Now you see, I put a notice board for all of you. What is there in the notice board? In this notice board is that M1 is equal to M2, then it is 1:1 ratio, and it is called as the midpoint. This is called as the midpoint and have the formula x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. And when the line is in the second point, it can be divided into another two types, that is M1 less than M2, that is 1:2 ratio, called as internal division. What is that called as? Internal division. Then M1 is greater than M2, it is called as external division, 2:1. So this internal and external division midpoint formula I already wrote for you. I hope you will understand it and also you practice it. So the coordinates will be given to you and there will be a midpoint and you have to calculate the midpoint coordinates by putting the midpoint formula. So now you go for the second part, that is called the internal and external division. That is, I am doing it in my just right now. I am going to say about that. Okay, so let's go for it. Come to the next part. What is the next part? Section formula, the internal and the external division formula. So before going to the internal and external division, I draw a figure for you to explain the internal and external division nicely. First of all, this diagram is very, very important. So try to learn the diagram with me nicely. So look at it. There is, as I said you, in midpoint formula, there is 2 points A and B. Here, when it was midpoint, then the P is exactly in between A and B. It is the middle. But now what is happening? The P is a little bit towards A. So here M1 and M2 ratio is 1:2. So now we are going to, other P point may be in the B side also, that now it will be 2:1. So now you see what I am doing. Here the P point, the coordinates first I am writing. The A point coordinate is x1, y1. The B point coordinate is x2, y2. Then what is the P point coordinate? Let it be x and y. Then what I did, see, I draw perpendicular to the x-axis. That is A perpendicular T. That means OS. AT perpendicular to the x-axis. So AT is a perpendicular. Then I drop another perpendicular, that is PS. PS is another perpendicular. Then another perpendicular BR. So I project 3 perpendiculars from 3 points. From A point, 1 perpendicular, that is AT, touching the x-axis, and PS and BR are the 3 perpendiculars drawn. Okay, understood? Now you see what is right now TS. TS is equal to AM, A to M. So I joined AM and I joined SR. I joined SR. Here it is PN. SR is equal to PN. So I joined these two, and I named it as M and N. So AM and APN. AM is equal to TS. AM is equal to TS. Very clearly. PN is equal to SR. Clear now? So this completes the diagram. So again I am saying I took 2 points, that is A and B point. I took the A point coordinate as x1, y1. I took the B point coordinate as x2, y2. And I took a point P which is dividing the line into 2 halves. 2 parts. Not halves, 2 parts. So here my part is M1 is less than M2. Clear? Maybe greater than also, no problem. But my P is dividing this line into 2 sections. 2 sections. So now what is happening? See, the P coordinate is x and y. Now what I did, I dropped perpendicular. AT, PS and BR to x-axis. Clear? Understood now? Now you see we are going for the measurements in x-axis and measurements in y-axis. First of all, we have to know that. See how I am doing the measurement. From O to T, every measurement will be from origin. So O to T, what is O to T? O to T in x coordinate, it is x1. So I wrote here x1. Understood now? I wrote here x1, O to T. So I write here OT equal to x1. Write it in down. OT equal to x1. Then write C in x-axis O to S. Click O to S is in x coordinate x. So I wrote O to S is x. I wrote it here. Okay, now go for the O to R. O to R. R point x coordinate is x2. So O to R is x2. I wrote it. Next, we have to find this distance. What is this one? Look, this is x. This is x1. So x minus x1 is this one. TS. TS will be x minus x1. If TS is x minus x1, definitely AM will be also x minus x1. So because TS is equal to AM, TS is equal to AM. So this is x minus x1. So this is also x minus x1. I hope you understood. TS, I wrote here, TS is equal to x minus x1. Then what is my AM? AM is also x minus x1. So here my x coordinate measurements are over. Now we will go for the y coordinate measurements. Y coordinate measurements, here it starts, look, A to T in y coordinate. A to T. What is this y coordinate? Y1. I wrote here y1. Clear now? Then from here to here, P to S, it is y. My y coordinate is y. Now the measurement is in y coordinate. So take the y coordinate, y. Now here B to R. What is that? Y2. So here to here it is y2. B to R is y2. P to S it is y. And A to T is y1. I wrote here A to T y1. P to S is y. And P to R is y2. So like that you have to mention the measurements. After that you will go for the section formula. Question will come in the exam. Derive the section formula. Derive the section formula means you have to show the formula for the and derive the formula for the section formula. Okay. That question you have how to do. First go for the diagram. Write all the measurements, everything, coordinates, everything. Then go for the measurements. Then start to derive. So now you see we are in y coordinate. So what is AT? AT is y1. What is P2S? P2S is y. Then what is B2R? B2R is y2. Clear? So AT is y1, PS is y, BR equal to y1, y2. Sorry. Now what is the PM? See this one, this one. Okay, this one P2M, P2M. So this measurement, this one is the big one. Then what is this one? This one is y1. So y minus y1, y minus y1. See my hand, y minus y1, because this is y1. So this measurement I wrote here, y minus y1. Understood? Now come to the point, this one, this to this, B to N. Clear? Next, what is B to N? B to N is, look, it is total is y2. Big one is y2. This to this is your y. This to this is your y. So this is y2 minus y. So I wrote here y2 minus y. Clear? So I wrote here Pm equal to y minus y1, Bn equal to y2 minus y. So I hope you understood this diagram nicely. After joining, see, after joining Am and Pn, what you observe in this diagram? This section is divided into two right angle triangle. Two right angle triangle. One is APM and another is BBN. PBN. So these two, this is a triangle and this is another triangle. Okay. So these two triangle. What you are observing? These two triangle are similar. Why similar? Their shape are same. They may not be exact in size. Exact in size are congruent. They will be congruent. But right now, what they are? They are similar. And you know, if the two triangles are similar, definitely what you will say? Their sides will be in same ratio. That formula you have to adopt. Look at this. I did it in triangle APM. APM. This triangle and triangle, right angle triangle BPN. BPN. So this is the triangle and this one is another triangle. In these two triangle, what I said, these two triangle are similar. If they are similar, then what is the similar property? The sides will be in same ratio. That means base by base, base by base, perpendicular by perpendicular will be equal to hypotenuse by hypotenuse. Understood now? This is the similarity property. So now you see, I wrote here AP by BP, AP, largest side, perpendicular. What is this one? M1. BP, what is this one? M2. So write AP by BP, that means largest side by largest side, AP by BP is equal to AM by PN. AM is the base, AM by PN. AM by PN is equal to P to M, P to M by B to N, P to M by B to N. Every measurements are written here. So according to that, you have to put the measurements. What is AP? A to P. What is that? M1. What is BP? B to P. M2. So M1 by M2 is equal to AM. What is A to M? X minus X1. X minus X1 by Pn. What is Pn? You can see from here also. What is Pn? P to N. P to N. It is X2 minus X. P to N is X2 minus X. P to N is X2 minus X. Then what is Pm? P to M. P to N. What is this? Y minus Y1 by what is Bn? B to N. It is Y2 minus Y. Y2 minus Y. Clear now? So now you see, after this we are already put the values for the sides, the measurements for the sides. After that, what you have to do? Take separately the x you have to take separately, and you have to take separately the y, by which you can go for the x and y coordinate. X and y coordinate is here. You want to find the coordinate of this point. So x and y coordinate we have to find it out. We are finding out x and y coordinate. Okay, of which point? Of this point, which is dividing the line into two sections. That point coordinate we are going to find it out. Understood now? So now how I did see? I took the x coordinate separately, taking m1 by m2 is equal to x minus x1 by x2 minus x. Now I go for cross multiplication. What is the cross multiplication? m1 into x2 minus x, written here, is equal to m2 into x minus x1, m2 into x minus x1. Understood now? So now multiply m1 x2 minus m1 x, m2 x minus m2 x1. So here what you are observing, a trick I am saying to you, how to calculate the x. See now, here it is 1 2, here it is 1 2, here it is 2 1. So 1 2, you bring 2 1 to this side, 2 1 2. You have to bring the 2 1 to this side near to 1 2. So what is this? First you write m1 x2. This is in minus. Be careful. When it will come to this side, it will be plus m2 x1. Okay. Now it is m2x. It is here. Now you take the x. This is x. This is x. So take the x2 near to x. So now it is plus m1x. Now take x common from here. It is m1 plus m2. Here it is as usual, m1 plus m1x2 plus m2x1, and this is x into m1 plus m2, x taking common. And what is x? It is multiplied here, it will come to divide. So it is m1 x2 plus m2 x1 by m1 plus m2 is called as your x coordinate. I hope you understood it, how I find the x coordinate. Then what I said to you, please take the m1 by m2 with y. m1 by m2 with y. Again, same procedure, go for the cross multiplication, write m1 into y2 minus y, this is equal to m2 into y minus y1, then multiply it, m1 y2, m1 y, m2 y minus m2 y1. 1 2 is there, bring 2 1 to this side, m1 y2 plus m2 y, and take the y to that side, m2 y plus m1 y. Here y is common. Take y common, it is y into m1 plus m2, and just divide this to get the y. m1 y2 plus m2 y1 by m1 plus m2. I hope you got the two coordinates now, x and y coordinates. I hope you understood it nicely. So for your kind reference, what I am saying to you, in this section formula, you have to draw the figure nicely. You have to draw the diagram nicely, go for the measurements nicely, then everything is easy for you. Then again I am saying to you, if A and B are 2 points, join the 2 points, and P is another point which is dividing AB into 2 sections. So now here one section is M1, another section is M2. So it is divided by M1 into M2 ratio. Now the A point coordinate x1, y1, B point coordinate is x2, y2, and right now we are dropping perpendicular AT, PS and BR to x-axis. Okay, now we are going for measurements of x-axis and y-axis. So O to T in x-axis, that is x1, I wrote here x1. O to S in x-axis, that is x, I wrote it here. And O to R in x-axis, it is x2. So now this you have to determine TS. TS is x minus x1. X minus x1 is called as TS. So if this is TS, then join the same. From A point you drop another perpendicular, that is to join the PS. Then let it be joining at M point. So this TS must be equal to the AM. So what is TS? X minus x1. What is AM? Will be x minus x1. Okay. Now you see what is SR. SR means x2. This is big one. X2 minus x. This is coming. SR is equal to PN. So now it is x2 minus x. So Pn will be x2 minus x. It is in x coordinate completed. Now come to the y coordinate. It is from A to T. In y coordinate it is y1. You wrote here. And P to S in y coordinate it is y. I wrote here y. Then B to R in y coordinate it is y2. I wrote it here. So now we have to determine Pn, very small side. Okay. So this is PS minus MS. PS minus MS. What is PS? Y. Minus MS. MS is Y1. So Y minus Y1. I wrote it here. Y minus Y1. And I wrote it here BN. What is that? Y2 minus, what is this? Y. Y2 minus Y is B to N. I wrote it here. Then we completed two right angle triangle, and two right angle triangles are similar now. So APM right angle triangle and BPN right angle triangle are similar, and putting similarity properties for triangles, that is the ratio of the sides will be in ratios. Okay, the sides will be in ratios. That means in similar triangle, the property is the sides will be in ratio. So AP by BP, AP means the largest side, hypotenuse. This one hypotenuse, BP. AP by BP is equal to AM by PN, AM by PN, base by base, AM by PN, and equal to PM perpendicular by perpendicular, PM by BN. Okay. So now write the measurements: AP M1, BP M2, AM x minus x1, PN x2 minus x, PM y minus y1, BN y2 minus y. Then take separately x once and multiply. How I said, get the calculation and get the point x. Then similarly, you take M with y, and multiply, cross multiply, and get the coordinate of y. So that this is the coordinate of the point which you want to find. So finally I am saying you one thing. See, what is that? The section formula, I am rubbing it. The section formula, here I am writing what is coming in triangle APN and triangle BPN. That was wrong. Okay, if you are going for note, please go for it, no problem. So now you see what is the section formula I am writing for you. Section formula, we are judging this x and y. So this x and y is given by, what is that? M1 x2 plus M2 x1 by M plus M. M1 plus M2. Okay. Now in y coordinate it is M1 y2 plus M2 y1 by M1 plus M2. Okay. So now this is called as the section formula. Clear? Internal and external division. In internal it will be plus, in external it will be minus. Okay. So all are said, it will be plus in internal, and in external it will be minus. Clear? Understood? Now you see, this formula can be remembered, can be by headed by a easy process. Let me say this process to you. See now, you see the x coordinate, how I am saying, mx plus mx by m plus m, 12, 21, 12. What to say? Mx plus mx by m plus m, 12, 21, 12. That means in off it is 12, 21, 12. Similarly, go for the y coordinate. My plus my by m plus m, 12, 21, 12. My plus my by m plus m. In up it is 12, 21, and in the down it is 12, m1, m2. So mx plus mx by m plus m, 12, 21, 12. Then my plus my by m plus m, 12, 21, 12. I hope you understood this nicely, the section formula. It is very, very important. Practice it 2 times after the video explanation. Next, I am going to say you the next portion. Now come to the next part. The next part is the most important part of coordinate geometry. That is the centroid of a triangle. Centroid of a triangle. So now many students will be confused. What is called a centroid of a triangle? Everybody knows triangle, but what is the centroid of a triangle? I am explaining it now. See, look, if ABC is a triangle, ABC is a triangle now. In this ABC triangle, you see, I am putting some lines to the base, which is dividing the base into 2 exact parts, 2 exact equal half. This one is equal to this one. So from the opposite vertex, see, from the opposite vertex, I draw a line which is touching the base at F, and it is exactly dividing the base into 2 equal halves. That is BF is equal to FC. Similarly here, you see, from B, and I am dropping another line to the AC, and which is at D point, it is meeting the AC at D point, and exactly dividing the AC into two parts, that is DC and AD. So AD equal to DC. Similarly, from C vertex, I took another line and which is dropping here, and I am meeting the AB at E point and dividing the AB into AE and BE exactly in two equal halves. So now what you observe, this line is bisecting the base. This line which is dropping from the opposite vertex, it is going to bisect the base into two equal halves. That line is called as the median of a triangle. So what is that called as? This line is called as the median of a triangle. What is that called as? Median of a triangle. Clear? So how many medians are there now? From A point one median, that is AF, B point one median, that is BD, and from C point one median, that is CE. So this AF median, BD median and the CFE median will definitely go through in one point, this point. Okay, so this point is called as the what? Meeting place of three medians. Yes or no? Let it be Z. That point is called as the centroid of a triangle. I hope you understood. Where three medians of a triangle going to meet each other inside the triangle, that point is called as the centroid. That point is called as the centroid. So now our point is to calculate the formula for it. Centroid formula by applying coordinate geometry. So here my real figure is there. I explained here about the median. I hope you understood it. See now in this diagram. In this diagram you see A to D. A to D is a median which is dividing the base BD and DC into two equal halves. So this one is equal to this one. Clear? Now I am showing you BE and B, suppose it is CF, and look at B is another median and CF is another median. They are crossing each other at one point, that is called G, and this point is called as your centroid. One thing you must watch. See now, I said you this is touching here. So definitely this is the midpoint of what? BC. BC midpoint is D, because it is the D point is exactly dividing the BC into two equal halves. So D is called as the midpoint. So what will be the coordinate of D point? That one you have to find out by midpoint formula. That is x1 plus x2 by 2. x1 is x2, x3 by 2, y2 plus y3 by 2. Okay, how it is? Let A point be x1, y1, B point be x2, y2, C point be x3, y3. Now I have, this is the midpoint of BC. What is this? This one, this is the midpoint of BC. So definitely what is midpoint formula? x1 plus x2. So x2 plus x3 by 2, y2 plus y3 by 2. I hope you understood this. Okay. Now you got the A coordinate, and see now in AD, in this line AD, in AD, look at the Z. Z is called a centroid. This centroid is dividing this line, AD line, into 1:2 ratio, into 1:2 ratio. Internally, it is dividing internally 2:1 ratio. Two parts, one part. Clear? Understood? That one you have to understand. That means it is called as what? Two parts to one part. Who is dividing? The G point. AD. Here AD point is like this. AD point is like this. The G point. It is two parts to one part. So G point is divided into two parts to one part. So right now you say what is your M1? M1 is two part and M2 is one part. So M1 is 2, M2 is 1. M1, M. So right now we have to apply here section formula for G point. G point, to calculate the G point, we have to go for section formula. Mx plus Mx by M plus M, 12, 21, 12, comma, My plus My by M plus M, 12, 21, 12. So that formula, M1 x2 plus M2 x1 by M1 plus M2, M1 y2 plus M2 y1 by M1 plus M2 formula we have to calculate. Now you see that one. I hope you understood this D coordinate, how you are finding out. Now you understood with the division, what the centroid is going for the division. M1 and M2, I hope you understood. Now you see, I am doing it. Let A, B, C, x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3 are the vertices of a triangle, ABC. Okay, you understood vertices of a triangle. Okay. Now AD is the median, bisects BC. AD is the median which is bisecting the base. That means BD is equal to CD, and D is the midpoint of BC. D is the midpoint. That midpoint you have to calculate by midpoint formula. What is the midpoint formula? Look, it is x2 plus x3 by 2, y2 plus y3 by 2. x1 plus x2 by 2. x1 means here x1 is x2. Here x2 means x3. So x2 plus x3 by 3, y1, y2 plus y3 by 2. I hope you understood this D coordinate. Okay. Now come for AD line. Come from A to D. This line. This line G is a point here. G is the which point? Centroid. Because it is the cross section of what? 3 medians. So G is called as the centroid. What is G point? G point divides this AD line internally in the ratio 2:1. 2:1. So what is your M1? 2. What is your M2? 1. That one you have to understand. Now the G point AD divides it internally with the ratio 2:1, which is called as the centroid. Which is called as the centroid of this triangle ABC. I hope you understood. Now what is the G point? See, M1, what a formula? M1 x2, M1 2. What is M1? M1 is 2. M1 is 2. M1 2. X1. What is your X1? Okay. X2 plus X3 by 2 plus M2. M2 is 1. M2 is 1. Then into Y2 plus Y3. There is M1, M2 into X1. M2 into X1. Understood? M2 is M1, 2 into X1. X1 is this one. Then it is M2. M2 is 1 into X1. That is X1 by M1 plus M2. M is 2 plus 1. Okay. Now in Y coordinate, same M2, Y1, Y2 plus Y3 plus M2. M2 means 1 into Y1 by M1 plus M2. 2 plus 1. Clear now? Now this 2 and 2 cancel. This 2 and 2 is cancelled. Now it can X1 plus X2 plus X3. X1 plus X2 plus X3 by 3. And the Y coordinate is Y1 plus Y2 plus Y3 by 3. Don't forget to write 3 by 3. So this is called as the G point coordinates. G point means centroid. The centroid is equal to, very easy formula, X1 plus X2 plus X3 by 3. Y1 plus Y2 plus Y3 by 3. So some students will write here 2. Many exams I saw, they will start to write here 2, but it is 3. Don't forget to write 3 below. So now the centroid formula is X1 plus X2 plus X3 by 3 and Y1 plus Y2 plus Y3 by 3. So this is the centroid of a triangle. I hope you understood the idea of centroid and you hope understood the idea of how I derived this formula. The derivation of this formula is important. So first up we are going for the calculation of D coordinate. D coordinate is the midpoint of B and C. So now it is another formula of midpoint. So x2 plus x3 by 2, y2 plus y3 by 3. Then G point. This is dividing the AD line, AD median in 2:1 ratio. So it is M1 is 2, M2 is 1. So by putting the section formula, M1 x2 plus M1 x2 plus M2 x1 by M plus M. M1 x2 M1 y2 plus M2 y1 by M plus M. We are getting this formula for centroid of the triangle. I hope you will practice it. The derivation you will practice, and you just go for the practice of the corresponding sums in the textbook. The next part is come for some sums regarding the section formula. So sums related to section formula. I will do some sums from the midpoint formula, some sums from the section formula, that is internal and external divisions, and some sums from the centroid. Okay. Now the first sum is, see, find the midpoint of the line segment joining the points 30 and -1, 4. He is asking you find the midpoint. So of what? Of a line segment. This is the line segment, and he is asking you the midpoint. That midpoint, let it be P, and the coordinate of the midpoint be X and Y. We don't know. We have to find it out. What is the other 2 points giving? The line is joining. That is A point. That is 30. That is X1 and Y1, and B point. That is -1, 4. That is, let it be X2 and Y2. Now what is happening? We have to find the midpoint value by putting midpoint formula. What is midpoint formula? That is x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. Now you see this is 3, x1 is 3 here now, and plus x2. x2 is minus 1. So we have to write like this, plus minus 1 in bracket, then by 2. Many students will do write directly minus 1. Don't do it. If it is minus sign, then you will be in trouble. So put it in bracket and write. Then y1 is your what? What is y1? 0, and y2 is your 4. So 0 plus 4 by 2. Now it is 3 plus into minus 1. 3 minus 1 by 2, and it is 4 by 2. Now it is coming 2 by 2 and 2. 2 by 2 is 1. 1, 2. Therefore, you have to complete the sum by writing like this. Therefore, the midpoint of the line segment is equal to 1, 2. I hope you understood. All the midpoint sums will be done in this method. That is by putting the midpoint formula. What is that? That is x1 plus x2 by 2 and y1 plus y2 by 2. Clear now? What is the midpoint formula? You have to apply this formula to complete the sum and write your x1 by 1, x2 by 2. If you want it write separately, so write separately and put the values very correctly. Be careful for negative values and also try to do the sum. Okay. Now come to the next sum. Next sum for the sums related to section formula. So this is internal and external division formula sums. So what is the question? You see the question. Find the coordinates of the points which divides the line segment joining the points 4, minus 3 and 8.5 in the ratio 3:1 internally. That means the line segment is there. The line segment is joining which points? 4, minus 3 and 8, 5. So 4 minus 3, let it be a point, and 8, 5, let it be B point. Let this one x1 by 1, let this one x2 by 2. And a point is there which divides in the ratio 3:1. Ratio is given to you. So this is 3, this is 1. So M1 is given to you 3, M2 is given to you. You have to find the coordinate of this point. So now definitely here M1 is greater than M2. So in internal division M1 is greater than M2. It is an internal division. So put the formula for internal division. What is that? Mx plus mx by m plus m, 12, 21, 12. Or you can say like this, m1 x2 plus m2 x1 by m1 plus m2. Which one is easy to say like that? m1 y2 plus m2 y1 by m1 plus m2. But I always prefer this one, mx plus mx by m plus m. Easy to remember, 12, 21, 12. my plus my by m plus m, 12, 21, 12. So 12, 21, 12. Okay. Now put your values, m1 3, x2 8, then m2 1 into x1, it is 4 by m1 plus m2 3 plus 1. Similarly m1 3, y2 5 plus 1, m2 is 1 into y1. y1 is negative, so put it in bracket. Negatives always put in bracket. So now multiply 3 8 is 24, 24 plus 4 by 4, 15 plus into minus minus 3 by 2. It is 28 by 4, that is 7, and 14 minus 3, 12 by 4, it is 3. So 7, 3 is the coordinate of the point which divides this line segment joining these 2 points at the ratio 3:1. I hope you understood it. So sums of the internal and external divisions will come like this. Okay, and try to practice. This type of sums will be there. Sometimes this will be given, you have to find the ratios. Sometimes ratios will be given, you have to find the coordinates. So nothing, all are same. If you will try to write your abbreviations nicely, measurements nicely, formula correctly, then everything will come nicely. Okay. So next is the next sum is about the centroid. Okay. Find the centroid of a triangle whose vertices are given A, B, C, triangle vertices. So x1, y1, 3 minus 5, x2, y2, minus 7, 4, and x3, y3, 10, minus 2. I wrote it here. See, the coordinates of the centroid are x1 y1 3 minus 5, x2 y2 minus 7 4, x3 y3 minus 10 minus 2. So after writing this nicely, you have to go for the apply the centroid formula. What is the centroid formula? The centroid formula is x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3 and y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. So x1 it is 3, x2 it is minus 7 and x3 it is 10. So by 3 and y1 is minus 5 and y2 4 plus minus 2. So add it and you are getting, after calculation you are getting a 2 minus 1 as the centroid. So I hope you understood these sums, and after that practice the sums which I am giving to you. After that go for the homeworks and the exercise sums also. Thank you very much.